Think back to just 1 or 2 years ago. The entire world was losing its mind over a chatbot. We typed a prompt, the machine wrote a polite email or a simple blog post, and we thought we had touched the future. We treated artificial intelligence like a smart intern sitting at a typewriter. But technology doesn't just walk, it sprints. Fast forward to today, and that smart intern paradigm is entirely obsolete. If you are still using AI just as a Q&A tool to answer your questions, you are using a supercomputer as a paperweight. Today, AI is no longer just an assistant. It is a ruthless, tireless execution engine. But here is the trap, what I call the solopreneur lie. People realized AI could execute tasks, so they started giving one single AI model a massive, impossible prompt. They tell it, research this market, write the code, debug the errors, and formulate a marketing strategy. What happens? The AI collapses. It suffers from context window overload. It hallucinates. It forgets the first instruction by the time it reaches the last. Why? Because you are asking one brain to be the CEO, the janitor, the developer, and the accountant all at the same time. Humans don't work like that, and neither do neural networks. The new paradigm, the architecture that Fortune 500 companies and elite hedge funds are deploying right now, is swarm intelligence. Instead of one genius model trying to do everything poorly, we build a team of highly specialized, hyper-focused, dumb agents. One agent only searches. One agent only critiques. One agent only summarizes. They don't just generate text. They talk to each other. They argue. They correct each other's mistakes. Welcome to Capital Mind Insights. Today, we are moving past chatbots. We are going to build your first AI swarm. To build a swarm, you need an orchestrator. And the absolute gold standard framework right now is CrewAI. CrewAI isn't a language model itself, it is the scaffolding. It is the virtual office building where your AI employees work. To understand how to engineer a swarm, you must master its 4 core pillars. Pillar 1, Agents. An agent in CrewAI is not just an API call, it is a persona. You don't just give it a prompt, you give it a role, a goal, and most importantly, a backstory. The backstory is the psychological guardrail. If you tell an agent, you are a veteran Wall Street analyst who survived the 2008 crash and you are deeply cynical, it will mathematically alter the probability of the words it generates to match that exact paranoia. Pillar 2, Tasks. Agents need jobs. A task is a highly specific expected output. You don't say, look at the market. You say, deliver a 3-bullet point markdown file summarizing NVIDIA's quarterly earnings. Pillar 3, Process. This is how the office operates. You can run them sequentially. Agent A finishes, hands the paper to Agent B. Or, you can use a hierarchical process. This means you create a manager agent. The manager looks at the goal, decides who needs to do what, delegates the work, and reviews the final product. Pillar 4, Tools. Without tools, agents are blind and deaf. We equip them with functions, the ability to search Google, scrape a web page, or execute Python code. But the true technical marvel of CrewAI is shared memory. As these agents work, they share a short-term memory pool. If the researcher finds a broken link, the writer agent automatically knows the link is broken without having to ask. They share a collective consciousness during the execution. Let's get our hands dirty. We are going to engineer a specific swarm, the Autonomous Investment Committee. We want this swarm to analyze a tech stock and tell us if we should buy or run away. To do this, we need to architect 3 distinct agents. Agent A is the researcher. Role, Senior Data Gatherer. Tool, SuperDev API, this gives it real-time Google search access. Backstory prompt, you are an obsessive data miner. You do not care about opinions, you only care about raw numbers, SEC filings, and recent news headlines. You never make assumptions. Notice the constraint. We are actively programming it not to think, just to fetch. Agent B is the Risk Analyst. This is our secret weapon. Role, the pessimist. Backstory prompt, you are a highly skeptical risk manager. Your job is to read the researcher's data and find the flaws. You look for macroeconomic threats, supply chain bottlenecks, and overvalued metrics. You assume every company is hiding bad news. Why do we do this? Because LLMs are naturally sycophantic, they want to please you. By forcing an agent to be a pessimist, we artificially inject critical thinking into the system. Agent C is the portfolio manager. Role, the decision maker. Backstory prompt, you are a pragmatic fund manager. You will review the raw data from the researcher, weigh it against the harsh warnings of the risk analyst, and produce a final, definitive buy, hold, or sell verdict with a one-page justification. We have created an artificial debate. Let's watch them work. When we hit run on this crew, we enter the execution flow. We turn on the verbose mode so we can see their internal monologue. Step 1, the manager assigns the task. The terminal reads, Manager Agent, delegating, fetch latest news on Tesla, to Researcher Agent. Step 2, the failure. The researcher uses the search tool, but hits a paywall on a financial site. A single ChatGPT prompt would just hallucinate an answer here. But our swarm self-corrects. The terminal reads, Researcher Agent, action failed. Access denied. Thought, I need to bypass this source. I will use the search tool again, excluding Bloomberg, and target Reuters. It fixed its own problem without human intervention. Step 3, the critique. The researcher passes a summary of Tesla's new battery factory to the risk analyst, the terminal lights up red. Risk Analyst Agent, the researcher noted increased production capacity, but failed to account for lithium shortages mentioned in last week's geopolitical news. This factory is a liability, not an asset. Step 4, the synthesis. The portfolio manager receives both reports. It doesn't just copy-paste them. It reasons. Portfolio Manager Agent, the upside of production is nullified by the supply chain risk identified by the analyst. Final verdict, hold. Do not allocate capital until Q3. This is why swarms are the future of automation. The system possesses self-correction. Through role-playing and delegation, the AI audits its own logic before it ever reaches your desk. What you just saw is a microcosm of where the global economy is heading. We are moving toward autonomous organizations, entire companies where the marketing department, the legal team, and the research division are just interconnected CrewAI swarms operating 24/7. But there is a catch: the human in the loop. AI swarms are brilliant tacticians, but they are terrible strategists. They need a visionary. They need someone to define the backstory, to set the goals, and to provide the API keys. They need a CEO. Stop building chatbots. Stop trying to find the perfect single prompt. Start building teams. Start engineering swarms. If you want to stay ahead of the agentic divide, you are in the right place. In our next video, we will take this a step further and look at fine-tuning local models, how to run these swarms privately on your own hardware, away from the eyes of big tech. Hit subscribe. Build the swarm. And I will see you in the next insight.